everyone, welcome to this new video for my channel, The Mental Traveler. I'm Carolera and today I'm going to be talking about the 7 novels that make up the series of the Chronicles of Narnia. All of them were written by British author C.S. Lewis. They were published from 1950 to 1956. And I would like to dedicate this video to James because he was the one who encouraged me to read the Chronicles of Narnia. So thank you, James, I owe you one. Anyways, before I begin, let me just say that this will be a review with mild spoilers in the last part of the review section. When I was in elementary school, a teacher read to us the Chronicles of Narnia, and then some years later the movies came out, and I liked them, but I was never fascinated by them the way I was with Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean. And then I discovered that Tolkien and C.S. Lewis had been friends, and that relationship fascinated me because I just can't help but feel intrigued about all the conversations they must have had when they were together at Oxford, and they went weekly to this pub to talk about everything from books to religion. And I mean, it's fascinating that they were talking about their stories in the place that for me embodies British literature, Oxford. So yes, over the years I wanted to read the Chronicles of Narnia, but I never got around to doing it. But yeah, I was intrigued by them because of its author, fantasy elements in it. And so as I mentioned earlier, since James told me how much he liked these books since childhood, I decided to check them out. And I read them in the chronological order, which means I didn't read them in the order that they came out, but rather in the order of what goes on in Narnia. The 7 books are called The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. They all deal with the land of Narnia, which is a world in which men and talking beasts live side by side. There are good people, bad folks, there are different races of humans, there are fauns, there are wood nymphs, there are centaurs and unicorns, and they're all ruled by Aslan, who is this sort of deity that appears in the shape of a lion. And he represents everything that's kind and good and pure and just, among other things. And in almost all of the stories, events are told from the point of view of children of our world who end up entering Narnia, and there they make friends, enemies, have adventures as they try to save Narnia from different sorts of evil forces. I think it would have been really nice to read the Chronicles of Narnia as a child, because even though my teacher read them to us, I don't really remember much of those times. So it was sad not to have that nostalgic feeling about them, that sort of sense of coming home that I have whenever I read my favorite childhood books. Still, I really enjoyed the Chronicles of Narnia and highly recommend them. I give all of the 7 books a 5 out of 5 stars review for their world building, engaging characters, and storylines. The way they left me thinking about God and the Bible and the future of mankind, and I of course also enjoyed all the fantasy elements in them. Still, they are not my favorite fantasy books, but they were really nice to read and easy to understand, and that's why I now want to mini review each one of them. For example, The Magician's Nephew. This story is set in the 19th century as 2 kids travel to Narnia to see its creation, and I really enjoyed the way this big event was described and all the ruins to ancient civilizations the protagonists encounter along the way. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. This is a book that started it all for me because it's the first one my teacher read to us, and because it was the first Narnia movie I ever saw. So this one is the one that has the most, it's a classic sort of vibe to it for me. The Horse and His Boy. This one was great. I love the dynamic between the horse and his boy and how the roles were reversed, how it described how fate works in mysterious ways and how maybe you can't escape your destiny no matter what happens to you along the way. Prince Caspian. This one was really cool because it had a coming-of-age storyline where the protagonist has to go on a quest to reclaim his kingdom, and he was a likable character, so that was great too. Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I like how we got to visit several places in Narnia and meet all of these different kind of races, and it has this sort of pirate vibe to it, and who doesn't like a good pirate story? The Silver Chair. I utterly loved this one. I thought it was fascinating, knights going on a quest to save someone from an enchantment, and there were also a lot of nostalgic elements to it, and it has a sort of bittersweet taste in the end. The Last Battle. This one frightened me at the start, but towards the end I was crying. It was so beautiful. It's a sort of parallel universe to what will happen with the apocalypse, and the ending thus presents the characters entering this beautiful place, and the descriptions and the details were just so vivid that I was longing so hard to be there alongside them. So for the moment, this is all I have to say about the Chronicles of Narnia. I hope you all enjoyed my video, and keeping my fingers crossed that you did. Still, let me know if you disagreed or agreed with anything I said here, because I would love to talk about C.S. Lewis novels with you. Thus, please share with me your thoughts in the comment section. Also, in the description box below below you can find a link to the Goodreads page for all of the 7 novels. In the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. I'm Carolina, the Mental Traveler, and I'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye!